This is Cassie. Cassie's my girl. She's out of San Antonio. Well, tell them. Tell them where you train. Tell them your rank.
I'm a blue belt, and I'm from RDA Fitness in San Antonio under Team Blue Jitsu, Professor Donnie Blue.
You guys are kicking butt.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you guys winning a lot of tournaments.
Yes.
Corpus and San Antonio, helping out the other affiliates in Dallas, and you're on the warpath anyways, right? I know you just got sponsored.
Yes.
Right? But you were on the warpath before that,
mm-hmm.
right? What is it about jiu-jitsu competition that you like?
What I love about jiu-jitsu is that not only does it require you to have a detailed skill level, but also mentally. So for me, I can do the technique and stuff, but you always have to be like a step or two ahead of your opponent. So that for me, it's like very challenging. So I like how it's like mentally, but also physically. So you have to intertwine that.
Human Rubik's Cube is what I call it.
Yes,
human Rubik's Cube that fights back.
Yes.
It's got little spikes that jump out.
My strength can get me so far, but like if I'm not concentrating on what I'm doing actually, then it's not going to work. Like it doesn't get you that far. So technique really does matter.
Speaking of your strength,
mm-hmm.
you like to do a lot of activity outside of,
yes.
I mean, I know you're on a personal level a little bit that people don't, what do you do outside of jiu-jitsu?
So I'm a marathon runner. I've been running since 2015, I believe. I did it for a weight loss journey. So I weighed about 230 pounds. And then I got down to 150 because I wanted to qualify for Boston. The closest I ever got to my fastest marathon was a 3:51 in Chicago in 2019.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
I mean, like really good.
For a big girl, yes. So my 5Ks, I got down to like a 6:30 per minute per mile. But when COVID happened, all the races got canceled and stuff. And so I needed something else to do. And so my children were doing jiu-jitsu and they wanted me to try it.
Already?
Yes.
Okay.
And so then they were like, you should try it out, Mom. And I'm like, well, I get really addicted to everything that I do physically as far as sports and stuff. Because I've done everything, volleyball, cross country, track, swimming, soccer.
Like me, all or nothing.
Yeah. So when I tried out jiu-jitsu, I got super hooked. So I was like, okay, running's gonna take a break on that, and then I'm gonna just concentrate on jiu-jitsu. And so,
but do you still run a little bit?
I do run a little bit, yes. But I concentrate a lot more on strength training because of the injuries and stuff. So I have to have my muscles and my ligaments and all
joints,
that. Yeah, protected.
Have you had any like major injuries yet at all?
The worst one that I've had so far is the left ankle. I have 3 partial ligament tears. It took me about 6 to 8 weeks to heal from that because I've been going to physical therapy. It didn't require surgery. I'm very grateful for
that'll put a stint on
my physical therapist
too.
Yes. Yeah. Dr. Arnold is amazing from Arasti. I highly recommend Dr. Arnold out of San Antonio. Any injury I ever have in any sport, he's the one that brings me back.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And so you said the kids are training. I see pictures with your husband all the time.
Yes.
Does he train?
He's not training jiu-jitsu, but he is training for the Rock and Roll Marathon here in San Antonio in December. So,
nice. So he's a runner.
Yes.
Was he a runner first, or
no? It was me. I got him addicted to it. Try to get him into jiu-jitsu, but he can't get injured because he works.
So mom is the big influence in the family. We're all doing this, folks.
Yes, my 10-year-old is a runner. She stopped doing jiu-jitsu. She wanted to concentrate on her running, so that's what she does now. She does her 5Ks. Do
you have any goals with running in the future or jiu-jitsu in the future?
One time in my life, I would love to qualify for Boston for the marathon.
What do you have to get to qualify
for my age? Let's see, I'm 37. So when I hit 40, I think I have to be like at an 8:30 pace. So I got down to an 8-minute pace for my marathon. So it can be achievable. It's just I got to give myself time to train properly for it. It takes about a year or two.
And Donnie, your coach, I noticed he's super into running too.
Yes.
Yeah? And you guys are in San Antonio. I swear it's one of the hottest, stickiest spots
if you
in Texas.
can run in 110 weather, let me tell you, you can run anywhere. So
I was watching, people post their little jogging path stuff, and I'm like, dude, that is wild.
And in jiu-jitsu, I would love to, of course, like everybody, I would love to get to, being a black belt. I know it takes a lot of years. I mean, I have a lot to do to get there. But I'm very, very grateful for my coaches and my teammates because they're very helpful in giving me any kind of tips or anything like that. I take it very seriously. I do train 2 to 3 times a day, 6 days a week.
Jiu-jitsu?
Yes.
Dang.
Yes. I take it very, very seriously.
Dang. What do you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, okay, so what's the husband do?
So my husband works in the oil fields. He's the one that
Okay.
makes it possible for me to be able to do what I do.
Yeah, for sure.
I do have a lot of side jobs. I am a race director for Scallywampus events. We put on races in San Antonio. So we put on like 5Ks, 10Ks, and half marathons. I'm also a notary in San Antonio.
Nice.
And that's about it.
Cool, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I was just talking actually with Tristan, for example, you know, like his training regimen and stuff like that too. And I travel a lot, you know me, but also with AGF, we go international. I talk to people in other countries and see the different cultures within the United States as well too. You know, like Spokane isn't Miami, you know, New York's not San Antonio. So you get different like regional like things, you know, like obviously snowboarding and skiing is real big in, you know, certain snow states, whatever. So you get like some different vibes out of people, but also like the difference in some countries with the training, you know, to hear a 14-year-old kid and a 37-year-old woman say, I train 2-3 times a day, I work out, I do jiu-jitsu, and then you have other people that train just once a day. And then, but yet they have these aspirations to be better than the people that are training 3 times a day. And, you know, all I've gotten out of you so far is I'm very serious. I'm addicted to this. We're going to do it to our best ability. You know, so I think that it's good for other people to hear that too. To go, you know, while you're not training, you can hear these other people are. You know.
Yes. I do work during tax season. I'm an administrative. I forgot to say that. So I do work like from 8 a.m. to like 7 p.m. Everybody gets 24 hours throughout the day. So it's what you make of it. So I get up like at 4 a.m. and do some type of training or anything like that. And then I go to work. And then after that, I'm like, I got to get out of the office because I got to go train, do my training there. And so I don't, you know, leave the gym till like 9 p.m. And then whoever's willing on the weekend, like to train with me or drill with me or have an open mat, you know, anything helps. So I always make time for it.
Yeah. And being a physical girl and wanting to train that much, I bet you run out of training partners.
Yes.
So do you run around to open mats and stuff like that too?
Yes. So we go to our affiliate, so the Exception Squad. I go there. Whenever I go to New Braunfels, I go to, oh my God, I can't remember his name, but I go to his house and they have a little open mat there. But like if I'm here in Houston, I'll go to Torres. Like I haven't been there yet, but like anytime I have an opportunity, I would go over there. So I always ask Johnny Blue wherever I'm at. Like in Dallas, I'll go somewhere there if I have the time and stuff.
You think that competition does that for you too? Just being able to grapple with other girls?
Yes.
That are,
yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good.
Yes. I just wish that there was a lot more females that would join the gyms because I do see other females in competitors wise, different locations, but I just wish like, you know, there were more girls in the gym.
Hey, I feel you. I have daughters. I have a lady too. You know, I feel you. And as a coach, you know, we always wanted to have the most of everybody. We want all the kids, we want all the women, we want everyone to train.
Yeah.
What do you think it would be? You know, tell the coaches out there, the business owners, what do you think would be a good strategy to get more women in the game?
I don't know, because everybody's different. Like for me, it wasn't so much that it's like a male dominant thing. For me, it was just like, I want to be good at something, so doesn't matter what's in my way, I'm gonna just do it. But there's a lot of females that are like, we had a girl that came to the gym and tried it out, and she was perfect for me. And it's just, you know, they got to get comfortable knowing that there's, you know, men in there, you know, so we're, you know, reiterating like, you know, it's very professional here. And then plus, you know, it helps us girls have more girl options, you know, to drill and to, you know,
sometimes I get this complaint a lot. The close contact in the sweat. I mean, it happens with guys too, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But it's an extra standoff thing, like for chicks.
Well,
you know, like,
for me, it doesn't bother me. The smell, the sweat, the blood, whatever. Nothing bothers me because I'm trying to achieve something and I want to be better at something. So I'm not going to let anything hinder me from getting better at all, period. But a lot of people don't have that kind of mentality and stuff.
No, that's why we're on the same team.
Yeah.
Yes. Her coach is my second black belt. So, but yes.
Yeah.
We're doing something here.
Yeah. If you really enjoy doing something, you know, you're not gonna let anything, you know, bother you with it. Like with my running, like they'll say like, you know, you know, when you're after the runners are done, they are all sweaty, they smell and stuff, you know, all this and that. But it's like, I'm trying to achieve something here. You know, I am older. I'm not like with the young bucks. That's another thing too. I'm going against girls that are 15, 18, you know, getting beat by them. You should see them. They're like CrossFit girls. And I'm like, oh my God, imagine if.
I saw a couple of girls here today that were way stronger than me.
Oh my God. Yes. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I was like, dude.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a big advantage.
Also,
for sure.
I want to be able to show my kids, you know, that you could do anything you want to do, no matter what the age. We have 5 children together. I have 2 grandchildren. I'm a grandma. So like, I'm just like, you know, I want to show my grandkids too, like, you know, look what grandma can do. You know, you can do these things, you know.
An inspiration.
Yeah,
there you
for
go.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, you got any last shout outs or things you want to mention or sponsors?
Well, you guys, thank you so much for sponsoring me. I'm very, very grateful.
We want people like you. You know, we want to.
You know, I lucked out on the sponsorship though. You all had like a little competition of doing a video, and whoever had the most likes would get the sponsorship.
So
and
it was not because.
No. Hold on though. Yeah. I didn't get the most likes though. You guys, what y'all did was y'all had you gave out 3. So whoever had the most likes, the most views, and the most viewing time. So I think I was the one that won the viewing time because my video was so short that it was only 30 seconds. That's why I ended up getting the most viewing time. So that's how I ended up.
It's still, they got to view it a bunch of times to do it still. Yeah. I get that. Because like on my YouTube, my personal one, I don't have a bazillion followers, but I have 1.5 million watch hours.
Yeah.
So, and my videos tend to be real long. I don't have like for the gram jiu-jitsu videos. Mine are like 8-minute full explanations of the game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but I have a lot of watch hours. And so,
yeah, so I lucked out with that because if it was most likes, I wouldn't have won. But like,
but what I'm telling people though is it's not because I know her coach.
No, definitely not. Yeah. No. But I'm very, very grateful for it because it gave me the experience. That's what I'm looking for is the experience. So I've been able to compete at least 1 to 3 times a month this whole year. So yes.
When did you get your blue?
I got my blue in April.
Oh, so you're.
I'm just a baby. I'm baby blue belt.
Yeah, on the workout. Probably just now opening your card.
Oh yes. Actually, I try not to get there because I'm not good at also that because I'm a big girl. I end up on mount, so I try to do my takedown so I get there. Period. So I don't have to worry about that. But I've been struggling with it, so I've been working on that, like people in my guard and stuff like that. So,
yeah. Well, it's all a process. You know, I know that you really care about your results, but the truth is nothing matters except for once we get black belt. And it's not just about black belt either. It's once we have the overall understanding of jiu-jitsu and we're cool with defending ourselves, we're cool with passing on the art to other people. So there's a bunch to that.
I take Donnie Blue's his words very seriously. He always says like, you know, it doesn't matter on the color of the belt. It doesn't matter if you won. Nobody is going to be remembered you for the match that you lost or whatever. What matters is that you're progressing, you know, mentally, physically, spiritually, you know. So that's a big thing because I mean, when you get beaten on at the gym, it breaks you down. You know, it takes a really strong person to come back the next day and be like, you know, I got myself, you know, smashed and choked and, you know, hurt and everything. And then it physically, it doesn't hurt. It hurts your soul. So you have to be
a very attack-based gym. Though.
Oh, yeah.
I've been to hundreds of gyms in my life. And your team is a very attack-based, like,
oh, yeah.
Wow, like,
yes. Professor Blue is really, he's really strong about us finishing, not like struggling, like not by winning by points. He really wants us to finish by submission. So that's what our main goal is. But I mean, if we finish by points, great. But like we want to get in and
I think that it's because, and for y'all that don't know, Donnie Blue just retired from 20-something years in the Air Force and was a police officer there and talking about us and all that. But I'm ex-Army, OEF1 combat veteran. I think that both of us have like that mentality because when you're in the military or a police officer, any kind of like combat type profession, at 0 time do you want to be on defense. Like we're not like 2 dudes go in a room and 1's coming out. To me, that's the most important jiu-jitsu that we have to pass on. And then after that, everything else is fun, right? And it's cool technique. Like we can play lapel, but you know, we could play inverted upside down, whatever. But the most important thing is we win a fight in self-defense and jiu-jitsu. That's what all school owners want. But specifically, I think because Donnie and I have that military mentality in training as well too. We line people up, do it by the numbers. We'll watch everyone, and then positionally fight in the niche as well too. You know, it's not just like, here's a technique, let's all roll.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of positional fighting and a lot of drilling.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of people also misconstrue what the results are when they just roll a lot. Some people get addicted to the roll and they just want to roll, and they don't understand the value of drilling, but also the positional fighting. I could drill 1,000 triangles, and then you and I can go roll for 30 minutes and never land in a triangle.
Right.
Neither one of us learned the defense or offense, and so put yourself in that position.
Right. So what Professor Blue always says is that he always teaches us systems. So like if he shows us a technique, it's gonna go coincide into what we're actually doing. So like if he's showing us to, you know, side control, and then, you know, he wants us to get to another position, he's gonna, there's a whole reason why we're doing this. It's not just like here's a position or here's a, you know, and just get there, you know, figure it out.
Sure.
Yeah, no, we don't. No, he wants us to have
systematical teaching since the beginning. I know it's become ultra popular now. In the beginning, it was, in my opinion, it was Eddie Bravo that originally, like, because when he put out the rubber guard books and put out his books, it was like system based. He was the first person to like kind of do that, and then now you have like the Danaher guys and all those people. It's all completely system based, coming out of the American culture, right? We are very system based. When it comes to learning, teaching, all that. And that's the way I always learn. Like, I didn't learn from an arm bar and a sweep, and the next day a guard pass and a takedown. Like, I learned from focus techniques, and then the regular student, too, doesn't come 6 days a week. They come 2 or 3. So if you switch it up every other day, they're learning sporadically, you know. But it's a trip, though, too, you know, because I've been to Brazil, and I've seen the way that the Brazilians train, and the way that they also treat their kids programs, and they have a massive love for their kids, and it's different than Americans, the structure and stuff, but like there's more than one way to skin a cat, and they're world champions. We're world champions. You have Australians are good too, Canadians are good, but culturally there's different ways to do things and still like be at the cream of the crop, you know. But I definitely think that the American mentality and style is systems. Yeah. I don't know if it comes from us wanting to chain wrestle because wrestling's so big in our culture, and it's never like a double leg for a wrestler. It's like high cross, single, double, out the, you know, peek out to the back. Like, so there's very much so, and that's a system in itself, but it's very fast paced. I haven't quite pinned it down, but you get my where it's coming from for me, and so I think that that's part of it. But Donnie and I, and especially Donnie on his own as well too, heavily system based, and I think that's a big result. Yeah. We got Tristan Caballero and JR Caballero and the other dudes too. I mean, oh boy, that just went and fought from Sambo Pan Ams and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, we're trying to make some good people out there out of San Antonio with Donnie. So it's not one person, you know, it's multiple people and then the whole school, you know, like Donnie Blue has the reputation enough now to where your guys' patch walks out onto that mat. Everyone's like, hey, it's Donnie's student. You know, and we start getting, the coach gets nervous.
When I see
don't even know you. They just know he's wearing a dark side shirt.
When I first went to his gym in Pleasanton, his kids, I was like, oh my God, like, I mean, it was kind of scary. And then like going with some of the kids, and I'm talking about kids, you're talking like 12-year-olds. I was like getting arm barred, and I was like, look, I got, you know, these old lady arms, guys, y'all need to relax. And they're like, that's how we train up here. And I was like, all right, okay, I like it. So then I started, you know,
a lot of people that are older or new kind of get beat up by the younger, but we're not exaggerating. This is a different level.
Oh yeah,
these kids like
especially especially when you know they're homeschooled. That's even.
That's what I just talked about with Tristan.
Oh my God!
I was like, tell them about your day. You know, you're homeschooled. I lift and then I do CrossFit, and I go to the gym. You know, it's just like, dude, these people are getting it. You know, and so definitely a high mentality.
Oh yeah,
high mentality.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Shout me sponsors. Anything you got?
Just to you guys for sponsoring me. I really appreciate it. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do it this year. So I really do appreciate it. And of course to Donnie Blue. Oh, also Professor James Pittman now. So he just got his black belt. So he's my professor
Air Force
too.
Guy. Yep.
And to my husband, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to do this either. So, and then my kiddos supporting me.
Yes, there you go. Did the kids come today?
No, they're gonna go with their sisters to a festival and stuff.
Cool.
So yeah.
Mom came out on her own mission.
Yeah.
You driving by yourself?
Yeah, me and the kids, we drove, and they're with their older sisters, and so they're going to a festival. I said, y'all have fun.
Oh, here in Houston.
Yeah, they're here. Yeah, my daughters live here in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
rock and roll.
Yeah.
Well, check her out. What's your Instagram?
Cassie _2304.
Check her out. I'll put it in the description below. watch her on AGF, and nudge me before you do your next matches so I can try to look out. All right?
Will do.
Good talking to you, girl. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.